I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me. Elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the housing. Woo! Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo! Watch how I set it up, bet you I shut it down, watch how I get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner, got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare to my line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Hey yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely, yeah. Socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing it. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. And I see you guys going ballistic in chat already. Shout out to Self Wealth Crypto, dropping his own lyrics to our intro song, saying, here we go, here we go. Frankie the man, show your flow. Light 'em up, yeah, you know. Fire flame candles, here we go. Shout out to Self Wealth Crypto. But guys, welcome to the Frankie Candles live stream, where we hit you every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to take a look at Bitcoin and try to figure out which way it's going to go next so we can catch those fire trades to the upside or the downside. And as you guys know, we have gotten that big pullback from that macro golden pocket as we expected, as everyone was getting super bullish at that key level of resistance. We were looking for those key levels, that monthly naked point of control, that macro golden pocket, and that value area high rejection, and we now have gotten that to play out. Are we going to see a little bit more downside, or are we going to see a bounce from where we're at right now? And if we do get a move to the downside, where is that next key level that I'm going to be looking at for a significant bounce to come in? And if we get a move to the upside, where should we be looking for a potential lower high to come in? I saw somebody put in chat saying lower high incoming, potential more downside to be had. And we're going to be taking a look at that today. I want to give you guys kind of an idea of what I'm looking at going into this next week, so you guys are prepared to make that money, whether the price is going up or down. Real quick, guys, probably going to be doing about an hour. I know, it's a meme. Frankie Candles is never going to end his live stream early, but I am actually going to do it today. As you guys know, I was sick, or I thought I was getting sick on Friday. Turns out I got destroyed over the weekend with some kind of cold or flu. I don't even know, but I could barely breathe. I lost a bunch of sleep, and I'm about 80% there, guys. But I don't want to. Kill myself tonight, only to make myself sick, and then it's going to affect the whole week. So I'm going to do an hour for tonight's live stream. We're going to cover all those key levels, and there's pretty clear-cut TA right now. It's going to be super, super saucy. But we may just do Bitcoin, and then we might skip the altcoins for tonight. But we will be doing that BTCTA, and smash up that like button, guys, because every 100 likes we get, you guys will get a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. And on Friday, guys, because I got sick last week, we are going to be rolling those giveaways that we were supposed to do on Friday into this week's giveaways, and we do have $500 in Cardano to give away to one lucky CandleMafia member. So smash that like button. Again, every 100 likes, you guys get a spin. We will be spinning the wheel tonight, but we're going to be doing the giveaways on Friday, as we typically do. But probably going to be potentially our biggest giveaway so far. that $500 Cardano giveaway just kind of jacked up that the price that I have to pay to do these giveaways. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Smash that like button. And before we jump into it, guys, let's say what's up to who we got in chat here. Let's see. We got Caffeinated Crypto. Shout out to you, bro. He said fire emoji, sauce can. Or sauce jar, Frankie Candles emoji. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We got locked and loaded saying using your new indicator, guys. We've been getting a lot of really good feedback on this new indicator, which is obviously free. For the time being, we're not ever going to make it paid, but we may put it in the dining room. But for right now, it's completely free, no strings attached. You can just go to TradingView, search Frankie Candles, and you will see that Frankie Candles Essentials fixed range volume profile indicator. Go check it out. People are really, really liking it. Not the reviews, but the feedback on TradingView is pretty crazy. It's super, super positive. So shout out to you guys. Hopefully you guys are having a good time with that. Shout out to 12 Big. We got Cryptic Sniper, Creighton C. As always, good to see you. We got okay, that's gone. Shout out to OLE. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. There it is. He said, we need you healthy and strong for the bull market. Shout out to Ol. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for saying that. We got Matt in the house says, let's go. Shout out to you, bro. We got Jay Core. Shout out to you. We got Crimson's girlfriend and Crimson's Caravan Company in the chat. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you. Let's see. Emmanuel says, pants off, dance off. Crypto Dumpo incoming. And we're going to be talking about that right now. So last but not least, we got French Toaster, Theo Rodriguez. What is going on? Not to be confused with Theo Vaughn. Shout out to Elite Ways. And last but not least, that's it. Chat stopped. We got Michael Vito. Shout out to Mike Vito. Shouting out Crimson Caravan Company. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And now, let's go ahead and jump into what you guys tuned in for, and that is for that saucy TA. Let's get it. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. It's going down. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Oh, God, it would be such an easy job if we could do that. I'm just kidding, guys. But let's go ahead and dive in here. And, yeah, breathing is hard right now, guys. I was whatever I had over the weekend on Friday night, guys, I was very concerned for my life. I could barely breathe. I couldn't sleep. Everything was clogged. My lungs were, it was horrible, guys. So bear with me. Like I said, I might sound short of breath here. But anyway, gotta get the information out to the CandleMafia. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now I'm gonna get rid of this local fib. And as you guys know, just a little recap. Obviously, we did get that pullback from that macro golden pocket value area high, which was that golden target that we were looking for price to get to before getting a significant correction to come in, which obviously we did wind up seeing happen. Now, the question is, guys, was this a significant top? And I do believe this was a significant top. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily expecting price to go to zero, right? But I do think we could potentially, shout out to whoever was saying this in chat. I don't necessarily know exactly who it was, but shout out to whoever was saying lower high incoming, because that is somewhat what I am looking for to happen here. And it is based off a few different things, such as money flow, as well as the fact that this was a significant top. Not only was this a value area high golden pocket, guys, we also had a naked monthly point of control sitting up here, which I do have on another chart. I'm not going to get... shout out to, hold up. Shout out to Thesis himself. Shout out to you, bro. Hope you're doing well. And he says, Frank, Dave Digital doesn't believe in trading. Right to jail. Straight to jail. Right away. Shout out to Thesis himself. And shout out to Parks and Rec. I think that's where it's from. I only know the reference. I've never, I'm not a big Parks and Rec guy, but I think that's where that meme is from. But shout out to Thesis himself. Dave Digital, could you please report to the front of the class if you are here? I have to have a word with you, Mr. Dave Digital. But shout out to Thesis himself. Thank you for that super chat, bro. And thank you for tuning into our live stream here. Always happy to have you in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and, Crimson Caravan Company shouting out Thesis. And then CW says, the sauce is back. Frankie's TA sessions during sick times is referred to as snot and sauce. Get it while it's hot. And shout out to Dave Digital coming back with a super chat saying, if you can't take care of yourself for the 22 hours, we're not supervising you. Maybe we need to go 24/7 supervision. Take care of yourself. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you so much for the super chat. And hey, Dave, We're going to figure out a way to get a 24-hour stream in here somewhere. Maybe when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we'll do a 24/7 stream, and we'll just split it, right? Because if a 24/7 stream, we might have to split between the TA and, like, something else. I don't know if we could do, like, I mean, I could do 24 hours of TA. I don't know if anyone else would be interested. But, yeah, maybe we'll have to do something like that. Maybe we'll sneak some Halo in there or something. I don't know. Or maybe we'll do the Fortnite play to earn, because then there's an excuse to show Fortnite on the crypto YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, let's continue on here. We do have the money flow coming to the downside here on the daily. And again, not only did we reject this value area high, but we also had the macro golden pocket retracement, as well as a monthly naked point of control and a yearly level, which was somewhere up here. I could probably actually just pull that up for you guys real quick. Where are we at? Yeah, so the yearly level was also sitting up here as well. I forgot. I mean, I knew we had the level here, but I forgot to bring that up. We actually did have that yearly level coming in at about 46,390. So obviously we did break that level slightly, but many reasons to be looking for that pullback here at that macro golden pocket, other than the general idea of, like, everybody and their grandma being super bullish at key resistance, right? Everybody's expecting those higher prices. Oh my God, ETF approved. Send it to the moon. We're breaking out. We hit 48K. Here we go. But all we see is a brick wall in front of our face with, it's not just the fact that we were waiting for a rejection at this golden pocket, guys, but we did see signs of weakness with that daily bearish divergence, which we were looking at on the live stream, to the weeks leading up to that tap of the golden pocket. So many reasons, like, for a pullback here, right? That's why we don't want to get bullish at resistance. This is what retail likes to do, is get super bullish, expecting a breakout, and then they get absolutely squashed. But not the CandleMafia, because we swim with the whales. We might be retail technically. We're not trading with tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, but we could swim with those whales for sure. So that's exactly what we did here. And now we are getting a move down. Now, why is this a significant high? Well, number one, obviously, other than the fact it is the golden pocket value area high, we can use the value area logic while we're looking at this as well, saying, I know I say this all the time, but once you flip that low to support, you go to the POC, flip the POC to support, you go to the high, and then once you reject that high, you could potentially wind up coming back to some of these lower levels within our range, and we are going to be talking about one of those today, specifically the point of control, getting closer to about 34.4K. And we're going to be taking a look at this very closely today, and I want to talk exactly about what kind of I'm expecting to happen here, and it has everything to do with Fibonacci retracements and liquidity, right? On top of that, guys, we also wound up taking this high right here, which again, we talked about this a while ago. This wasn't even like as recent as we were talking about some of the stuff that we were looking at this golden pocket, but a long time ago, we were talking about, I think I covered this in my video, my Bitcoin deep dive, where we were actually looking for this, tapping on the value area low here, looking for this whole range to fill. About 8 months ago, I believe that video came out, and obviously we wound up seeing that happen, but we also talked about just the idea of liquidity. And remember, guys, liquidity is simply just money in the market, right? And we know that price is attracted to these levels. I use the analogy of the Italian guy selling ice cream on the beach in New York, right? He's walking around. He's some jacked Guido, all dark and tan, and he's walking around with his ice cream, and he's trying to sell ice cream. But he's not gonna be walking around an empty beach, guys. He has to go where the people are. And in that example, the people are the liquidity, because he needs to bring his ice cream to that money, right? The people who have the money in their pocket, he has to bring that ice cream to the people with the money in order to transact, right? And this is kind of how I explain liquidity. And when we're looking at a liquidity in terms of a chart like this, you have to try to assume where people's stop losses are, because that is what creates the liquidity. Because when people enter trades, they oftentimes have stop losses or liquidation levels where obviously, if price pushes above that level, you will start to stop out those people, creating a little bit more buy pressure in the market before a strong reversal. And oftentimes, we will see price take major highs, right? This is obviously a very major swing point. And often, chances are, we talked about this last week, I believe, chances are there's probably a lot of people who were swing short from this high up here. And anybody who is still in those positions, right? Believe it or you might be thinking like, who didn't close that position after that big move down? You guys would be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be surprised, because if you've ever traded before, it's a lot easier said than done to just simply take your profits at the bottom, right? Oftentimes you'll hold it, get greedy, and now you don't have as many gains, as price comes up and starts eating into your profit. You're kind of just, a lot of people will just hold and be like, I hope it goes back down. But chances are there was still probably people short from above here, which basically winds up putting all their stop losses above this golden pocket. And when we get that to happen, simply put, this wick came up, and this is obviously the Bitstamp chart. This is not a leveraged exchange, so the wick did not come up as high as it would on something like Bybit or any other leverage exchange. But simply put, when price comes up here and starts stopping out those people, again, who were short from this significant, basically, and another reason too, guys, is like if you look at this in terms of volume profiles, we know that we had a volume profile right here because this is part of the reason, this is part of how we were able to predict the moves on Bitcoin. And what are you doing when you deviate from the volume profile? This is where you look for shorts, right? And also you're hitting the macro value area high of the macro range. So just many reasons to be looking for shorts up here, which gives us the idea that there's probably people short from this high, putting their liquidity above, right? So as price wicks up, stops out those shorts, oftentimes price will sweep that liquidity before putting in a significant high and continuing to the downside. So this is, many, many reasons not only to look for the rejection, but also reasons why we could potentially continue down here. And that's not even counting the daily bearish divergence, right, with our higher highs on price action into the key level, with the lower highs on our momentum waves, and the money flow continuing to the downside. This is kind of like many reasons to look for the short here, right? Or look for just a pullback. And because of the fact that we swept that liquidity above, we could potentially see price continue to the downside. So where is price likely to go next? So let's go ahead and pull our volume profile here. As you guys know, obviously, we have actually wound up getting accepted back into our range and going where? Right back down to the value area low. And we did get a little bit of a local bounce here. We do have the VWAP coming up on the daily. Too soon to take anything away from this, in my opinion. But here's kind of my thoughts, right? Let's come down to a lower time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour, right? Let's pull up some of this TA. Where are we? New local, right? And let's pull up. Excuse me. Yeah, and we also have this May value area too now in play, right? We're now stuck below this value area high as well, which gives us more reason to potentially look for downside, right? We came out of the value area. We wound up getting confirmations. Obviously we came up to the golden pocket, etc. And then we came down to the value area low, and now we are accepted within this larger range as well, which could potentially open the door to come down to that previous point of control, coming in at 38.9 or almost 39K, or that value area low, which brings you down closer to the 37Ks. But I'm actually going to hide that volume profile really quickly, and I'm going to pull this local profile. So as of right now, guys, obviously we did come down to our value area low. I believe we front ran this slightly, but here's the thought process, right? We're back in the range. We lost the value area high, came to the low, put in a higher low, and wound up getting a little push to the upside, which was a scalp long that we wound up catching in the premium Discord. I'm not really going to go into that right now, but nice little scalp position here as we were putting in medium time frame bullish divergences into a key 786 Fibonacci level that was down here. We were putting lower lows in on our price action with our higher lows on our momentum waves, giving us that pinch point or bullish divergence that we look for those reversals. And simply put, we wound up getting that push to the upside for a nice little scalp up to fill the CME gap that we had above. And I think we filled the CME gap. I'd have to pull up the CME chart to figure out exactly if we wound up filling that gap. But actually what I can do here is I can pull this chart. Give me 1 second, guys. Did we fill the CME gap? We did not, right? So we didn't pull up to the CME gap just yet. But the CME gap fill is sitting at about $43,683, right? So that would be the gap fill. So just a little bit higher than that. But we could potentially see that scalp long bring us up to fill that CME gap. However, with the way money flow is looking on the higher time frames, such as the daily, right? Again, money flow consistently coming to the downside. The 16 and the 12 hour are kind of bing-bonging around. So I don't know necessarily, I'm not really putting too much weight on these. Would really like to see these cross back over into the red. But this daily money flow, guys, is continuing to the downside, which could potentially give us some more downside. So where's the next key level that I'm looking at, right? So again, are we going to see a higher low come in here? Or I'm sorry, a lower high come in here? And the answer to that question is we don't know, right? But if it does wind up coming in, we could potentially, if we go for that full 786 golden pocket retracement, we could wind up coming all the way up here to about 46,180 or up to the 786 at about 47,380. But at this point, guys, if we wound up coming all the way up here, kind of puts a little bit of murkiness in that water, right? Because, this would be where that lower high would come in, right? Because this is the full Fibonacci retracement from the golden pocket or the 786. We don't know if the pullback would come from the golden pocket or the 786, just like we didn't know if the macro golden pocket was going to get rejected or that macro 786 was going to get rejected. It wound up being the golden pocket. And when we do wind up running into that 786, this is still going to be a key level to watch. But locally, guys, the key levels I'm looking at for some potential lower highs to come in is number one, obviously just pulling the full golden pocket retracement from the high to the low, right? Now, on top of that, what just happened to our... Just moved this for some reason. So I would be looking at that. That zone, again, is coming in at about, let's pull the box here, 47,460 and 46,152. That would kind of be zone number one this would be the last zone I'd be looking at. But there actually is some other confluence a little bit lower that we could wind up putting some lower highs in at, right? So let me go ahead. So we have this daily level, which I believe is tapped at this point. But another area we could look at, just looking at the volume profiles, simply put, guys, right? What happened here? We went from the low, right? Let me pull this range. We went from the high, back into the range, back down to the low. Now, if we do continue up, simply put, you want to be careful around the POC, even also knowing that the CME gap fill is right up there as well, right? And then if we get above that POC, you could look for a move into this daily value area high level, which could be another place to put a lower high in to continue down to lower prices, which, as you guys know, the next key level, I am looking for some scalp longs other than the one that we got last night. Actually updated the Discord. Let me see if I have this pulled up. I don't want to leak anything exclusive here. That would not be fair for the people who pay. So let me actually wind up. Let me just pull this up really quickly. And I will just pull this up to the old, right about here, right? So as you guys can see, we were looking to come down to this key level, which was the 786, with some, one of the confirmations, added confirmations would be that medium time frame bullish divergences with your lower lows on the price action into the 786 with higher lows on your momentum waves, giving you the bull div, expecting that correction to the upside, right? Now, if we pull up the chart, you can see, I'm not going to pull the exact fib level, but we had that 786. That's where that 1 hour bullish divergence came in with your lower lows, higher lows, and then we wound up getting the move to the upside, right? So, as we continue on here, I would be very cautious as we make our way to that value area high because, again, higher time frame money flow is indeed indicating a potential further push to the downside. And for me, guys, this is a very, very, very highly risk-managed trade, right? I am not expecting this to go to $1 bazillion, right? Moreover, I am expecting this to be a small move, right? Once we fill that CME gap, that's kind of take profit, move your stop loss type deal, right? And then if we push up into the value area high, I'd be taking a little bit more profit and then maybe moving my stop loss into profit, making it a guaranteed winning trade, and then letting the rest run if we want to come up and hit some of these higher levels. But where I would be a little bit more comfortable taking along would be at some of these lower prices, right? And I'm going to hide the daily levels. And simply put, guys, we have these naked daily points of control. We've been looking at these for quite some time on the channel, and they do sit between about 39.6 and 38.775, which is a very, very interesting level of support, not just because they're naked points of control, and these are very, very key levels you want to watch and very high probability levels to get reactions off of, but these are extra, extra important, in my opinion, when you have liquidity leading into the level. And you guys hear me talk about the backstop supports, right, or backstop resistance when we're looking for trades. And basically, what I'm referring to when we look at that is simply put, Let's pull up High Block Capital really quickly, and I'm going to pull up the liquidation heat maps. And what I want to look at here, guys, is I'm going to pull up the 1 month heat map for Bitcoin. There we go. Let's run it. And you guys can see, right, the reason why I am not necessarily like super, super long. You might be thinking to yourself, like, well, Frankie, you got bull divs into the value area low. Like, why are you not looking for this to just like rip? And again, it has to do with money flow, number one. And on top of that, guys, we have a lot of liquidity below, right? And, you know, we have a little bit of liquidity below the value area low, but to be quite honest, the most of the liquidity is really sitting below this wick right here, like below the lower wicks, right? Below this wick, and you could even, we could even go ahead and like kind of label these as two separate levels, and these are kind of where the liquidity lies below, right? And if we pull up that liquidation heat map, you can see right here at about 39.5 is our next significant area of liquidations, right? Now, again, local wick right here, sure, there's some liquidity below, but again, you know, the real hot spot in liquidity is sitting right down here at 39.5. And what do we say about the liquidity, guys? Price is attracted to these areas, right? Because price wants to go where the money is. So this is kind of one of the reasons why I would really feel much better looking for long positions as we crept below those levels, right? And you know, again, 39.5 is sitting. 39.5 is sitting right here, right? That first naked point of control is at 39.6. So you have to imagine if price comes down and we start liquidating people below these lows, right? Because there's a lot of people long here, a lot of people long here, a lot of people long, and all their liquidations and stop losses are likely sitting below, right? And clearly, a lot of them sitting at 39.5, right? So with that being said, we could potentially see price gravitate towards that $39,500 level, and if we do start cracking into those liquidations, we could potentially start seeing some liquidation wicks happen, and once we get that, we could potentially see those liquidations happen into this backstop of support, which are these two naked points of control. So for me, I don't think it's impossible to see a continued move to the downside to come visit these naked points of control, right? And we talk about this all the time, and we've looked at these levels many times, but again, like, really, when we look at the markets here, guys, other than the volume profiles, we really want to look at the liquidity, right? And right now, the highest amount of liquidity is sitting at 39.5, right? So chances are, right, more likely than not, it's not a guarantee, but more likely than not, price is going to want to go take those liquidations out. So my eyes are set down here for a potential move back down. However, it does not mean that we are definitely going to get the move down, right? Well, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen right now. So, you know, whether we get a move back up, I mean, it's kind of if this, then that statement, right? If we continue up, I will be taking profits on the long, right? And potentially looking for fresh short entries up here at the value area high or up here at these golden pocket retracements, right? Now, again, I would really, you know, yeah, that's basically, I don't want to complicate things too much. If we come up to the value area high, would potentially be looking for shorts. We actually got a nice swing failure pattern right here off these local highs, actually, now that I look at it. Did we SFP this on the third? Oh, yeah, of course we did. Okay, so we did actually get a nice swing failure here of these wick highs right here, right? So, you know, people short from these highs up here wound up getting stopped out, and then price reversed back to the downside. This could be a sign of weakness, honestly. But as we continue up, guys, I am simply looking for short positions for the reasons I just mentioned, right? Now, once we flip this value area high, more seriously, the 786 here, that's where, you know, we flip that 786, probably going to go try and take this wick, in my opinion, right? Because, again, if we pull up that heat map and we come up to a higher time frame, let's go up to the 3 month. Let's run it. Let me pull up chat here. I lost chat for a second. As we... let's pull it up a little bit more. Let's go to the 6 month. Yeah. And yeah, you could see, I mean, yeah, 39.5 right here. 39.5, significant liquidity. Down here, this is kind of the real point of interest in my opinion. Like if we see price really start getting a big move to the downside, guys, and we lose 39.5 and we just keep nuking and we keep pushing, we could potentially go grab this liquidity down here. Now, it's not guaranteed, but I will say, if we did get a move down here to about 32, into the 30, below 34K to come take this liquidity, I may look to pick up more spot Bitcoin at this level. So, the real question is, where is the significant liquidity sitting? And number one, 39.5 is the next level. And then below that, 35 to about 32 is where that next significant level is sitting, right? And again, pulling up the trading view chart, if we take a look at our significant levels of support and resistance, you can see 2 naked points of control. And then as we get closer to that actual level here, where is it? Right down here at about 35.7 all the way to about 32.4, right? Right in the middle of that is about 34, right? $34,400 is also a significant technical level sitting here at the macro point of control. So we know that there's a significant amount of liquidity here. We know the next one after that, if we break these levels and cannot hold these NPOCs, we know price will likely continue down to go hunt out that next significant area of liquidity, which we know is sitting down here between the levels that we just mentioned while looking at the heat map right here, right? 35.7 to about 32.5, right? And obviously give or take, depending on like how closely, I just kind of look at the yellow boxes. Once it starts getting like real blue, that's kind of where I cut it off. But this chunk right here, which again is lining up beautifully with the technicals right here with that naked, not naked point of control, but this POC of the range, right? So these are the next key levels to the downside. And to be quite honest with you guys, I am not loading up on giant long positions. Like even this little scalp long that we took last night in the Discord, was a very small position, right? Not looking for that to like really give us a blast to the upside. Not that that's impossible, but again, with the liquidity sitting below, I am being a little bit careful because, even below this wick, we don't have, really the significant liquidity, excuse me, is sitting below these wicks. So I would like to see a bigger pullback. And then at that point, what is happening here, guys? We are simply going to be deviating below our value area low, right? Deviating below our range, stopping out a bunch of the longs, which is what we want to see for a potential reversal in the market, and we have the backstop of support sitting on these naked points of control. Does that make sense? Hey, shout out to Sin City Crypto in the house. They say, hola! What is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. And we got Hannah King in the chat. Spam those tiara emojis for the princess of the Candle Mafia. Shout out to Hannah King. Shout out to Hannah. Good to see you in here, Hannah. Hope you're doing well, and spam out those tiaras for Hannah King because, funny enough, her name is Hannah King, but she's actually the princess of the Candle Mafia. So shout out to Hannah King, and that's not to be confused with Jessica, our female Candle Mafia representative. But guys, this is essentially what we're looking at. And shout out to Sin City. Hey, Sin City said, while y'all slacking on the likes, let's go. And Sin City's got a wrench now. That's what I like to see. They may have always had a wrench, but I don't know why I feel like I just noticed it. But shout out to Sin City Crypto, guys. Go check them out. You know they're our friends, so go check them out. But they said you're slacking on the likes. Smash up that like button, guys. We're going for 550 on tonight's live stream, even though we are going to be doing a little bit of a shorter live stream. But, guys, this is really the key information that I wanted to get out to you guys. Again, like simply said, we are looking for taking the scalp trades within the range. However, to me, really paying attention to the liquidity, right? Again, significant level at 39.5. Next significant level coming in at about 35.400 and below, all the way down to 32.7. So, and then obviously, we got down here at about 23K. Obviously, we have the hottest area of liquidations. I mean, if we pull up the 2-year chart, obviously, guys, above all significant, below all significant swing lows, you're going to have a lot of liquidity sitting below there. It doesn't guarantee that we're definitely, look at all the tiaras in chat for Hannah. Let's go. Shout out to Hannah. But the reason that, we're not guaranteed to fill this, right? Like, I think everybody thinks like, oh my God, there's liquidity here. We have to go get that liquidity before we go higher. That's not a guarantee. It's not 100% guaranteed, right? At some point, the chart is never going to revisit a level, right? And simply put, those people are just safe with their stop losses, right? The market doesn't get everybody, but even down here at below the bear market low, at about 16, at about 15, about 15.2. Obviously, another hot spot of liquidity doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to go back down there. But other than that, and again, I mean, 24K, I think we would need some kind of a black swan to come in, which, gosh, if you guys are watching, you guys are keeping up with current events, may not be unlikely to get a black swan in 2024. But in my opinion, we'd have to get some kind of a black swan to see this liquidation level hit. So not impossible, but again, more realistically talking, even looking at the 6 month, like the real next significant levels, guys, sitting at 39.5 and simply here at by that macro POC between 35.1 and 32.7. So that's really what I'm looking at, guys. That is why I am potentially looking for more downside. But again, be careful for some more upside because we did put those bull divs in not only on the 1 hour, but also the 2 hour. Money flow kind of flat. 3 hour money flow coming up with that bull div confirmed, and your 4 hour bull div is confirmed as well. But money flow kind of bing-bonging sideways, right? So being very careful and kind of just sitting on my hands waiting for the key levels to get hit, right? Taking stabs at those small scalp shorts or scalp long, scalp shorts, whatever. But again, waiting for the next significant levels to get hit. Hopefully we can get down here and take that liquidity below these wicks where I will be looking for our next long position. And then in the long term, remember, POC of the range is that next key level of support. And remember, guys, this is not it's I don't want to say it's easy because it's not just like you're looking at the levels. You have to find the levels as well. But when in doubt, guys, zoom out and look at your macro profiles. Hide all the noise, right? Hide the NPOCs. Hide the golden pockets, right? Hide your gold boxes. Hide your volume or your micro volume profiles. Look at the macro. Simply put, we're on the 2-day chart here, guys. Simply put, value area low to the POC. POC to the value area high. If things get crazy, the next logical place for price to go, if we get the big move down, or the next logical place to get a significant reaction, if you're able to make it that low to 34.4, would be right here at the point of control. And then, say we lose the point of control and we see a black swan event, right? We know the next key level is sitting right here at about 28.6K. Right at the bottom of our value area low. And in my opinion, once you get down here, you could look for a deviation, which could potentially, could it? Let's see. Let's pull back up that 2-year liquidation chart real quick. Where is that liquidity actually sitting? 23 is pretty deep, to be honest with you, right? So we'd have to get a pretty big push, pretty big wick down. And then maybe we could see some kind of a failed auction where we go to try to trade at those prices, and then we just get accepted higher, and then we fill the range again, right? That's like the super bearish case, in my opinion. But I will say this, guys. If we were to see something like that, and again, this is the super – I'm not calling for this. I'm just saying – if we are to see a bigger move to the downside, like just zoom out and look at the volume profile. Simply put, like this is what we look at, and like this is how we predict things, right? So, obviously you have all the internal levels, but at the end of the day, you have this macro range with the super, super key levels, which also line up with the liquidity, which isn't magic because other people are looking at these levels too. Like we're not the only people that see these levels. That's why those liquidation levels are sitting so close to these key levels is because a lot of people are longing based off these key levels, putting their liquidation levels very close to these levels, right? Levels. But, if we pull our golden pocket, this is another thing I'm looking at as well. Come up to the weekly time frame. And let's pull this fib, right? Let's pull a fib from this swing high or swing low all the way to this swing high. And as you can see, let me get rid of these brushes. And I'll just re-pull the fib. Let me get rid of that. And then we'll pull the fib. You can see here from this impulse, from this low all the way to the high, golden pocket confluence right on that point of control again, making it a very high likelihood of a reaction at this level. And then if you break that POC, your 786 is sitting right down here. And we've seen worse, right? Oh, my God. My lungs are giving up, guys. I told you I was sick. But you can see here as, whoa, what am I doing here? As we were pulling... as we were looking at this macro golden pocket in the 2019 bear market rally, we ran up to that golden pocket, and when we got the big pullback and the black swan, what did we see? We wound up seeing a retracement. Oh, come on, man. Computer's sick too, guys. My computer is sick. But from the high, from the all-time low, bear market low, to the bear rally high, you can see we simply just went for a 786 retracement, and if we wind up seeing a visit to this 786, this would be not even close to as bad of a correction as we got back here during this black swan, right? Because this fib is not pulled to the all-time low. If we saw the same thing we were going to see, if we're going to see the same thing we saw in 2019, right, assuming there's a black swan and we see a massive dump, that would put Bitcoin down here at about 22.5, right? So, and then this could still be a macro 786 retracement before we wind up having the halving and go off into the next bull run. Now, again, I'm not calling for this. I'm just saying, I just wanted to kind of show that because some people might be saying like, oh my God, dude, it's impossible to get back down to 30K. And it's like, just understand that we saw that exact thing happen, except worse, right? Because we had that full Fibonacci retracement, that 786 down here. We went for that full 786. Meanwhile, 28K is nowhere near as bad as what we saw in the correction on the Black Swan in 2020. So definitely not impossible to come down to these levels, guys, especially because look at this. We have not had a significant retracement on this entire move to the upside. So in my opinion, guys, like the most important level to look at, or the two most important levels to look at, which we showed, I think, on Friday, again, like Golden Pocket POC, not even taking into consideration that we also know that we have the liquidity sitting down there as well. That's just looking at structure and fibs. POC Golden Pocket confluence between 34.5 and 33.181 is going to be a key level to look at for a bounce, right? Because if we're simply just going to come up, healthy move up, right? We have no pullbacks at all, right? If we get a significant pullback, this is going to be like the first logical retracement to get, right? And then we could potentially go for the 786 as well. But this will be the first level to look at. And the nice thing is you have the confluence at the POC, just like on the 786, you have the confluence on the value area low. Does this make sense? This is exactly what we look at on many, 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 many different assets, right? So just keep that in mind. And these are the next key levels. This is what we're looking at. So with all that being said, guys, as you can see, I'm not doing great. I'm not doing great here with the whole sickness thing. Let's see. Shout out to Medi says, Frankie Candles, you are dope. Shout out to you, bro. You're dope as well. Shout out to Moon Boot Boy. Wait, where does it go? Oh, there we go. Yeah, shout out to Moon Boot Boy saying, shout out to, is that a real thing? STD, USDT, or is that a troll? Let me know, Moon Boy. Shout out to Moon Boy. What is going on, bro? Let's see. Shout out to Elite Ways. EZ says, yay, just got confirmation that my Frankie Candles sweatshirt is on the way. Hat coming soon, too. Shout out to Elite Ways. Not this hat. I was going to say shout out to the Frankie Candles hats, but these are the Bing Bong hats. I don't think these are available yet. But shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Moon. Shout out to Moon Boy. You got me cracking up, bro. Let's see. Shout out to Self-Wealth Crypto said, mark my words, this is the heavy cream Alfredo sauce right here, peeps. Clip that. Shout out to Self-Wealth Crypto. Must be pretty confident on these levels, Self-Wealth. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you for saying that. But guys, like I said, let's see. Did we cover? I think we covered everything on Bitcoin. I believe. Let's go ahead and go over Ethereum, and then I'm not going to do the altcoin requests, but maybe I'll run through, maybe I will ice plunge every week. You'll never get sick again. Shout out to Balance Finance. Shout out to you, bro. I would love to get an ice bath. I don't have an ice bath. However, I have been taking cold showers for about 2 weeks now. I know it's not the same thing as an ice plunge. I'm trying to warm up to, or cool up to it. I'm trying to warm up to the ice plunges. But yeah, I hear amazing things about the ice plunges. I would love to get into that. Number one, the biggest reason why I want to do cold plunges, guys, is because obviously it's more of like, it has a lot of physical benefits. It also has a lot of mental benefits. And I think it would have the most mental benefits for me because I hate the cold. I would rather live in a tropical weather, sweating every single day in 115-degree weather every day, dreadfully hot, than be a little bit chilly. I am just not a cold guy. I lived in New York for long enough. I'm sick of it. I want hot. So I think doing cold plunges would be very beneficial, especially for my mental. But anyway, continuing on here, guys, looking at Ethereum. Now, obviously, Ethereum has been somewhat of a bullish indication here, right? Because as you guys know, we are simply knocking on the door. Let me zoom out here. We are simply knocking on the door. Let me come up to the weekly time frame. We are simply knocking on the door to our previous volume profile, which is sitting right here, right? So we have the previous area of consolidation. We simply pulled the range, extrapolated the levels, and we now have these this key range, right? And once we get above this value area low, guys, in my opinion, this could open up the door to see much higher prices for Ethereum this year, potentially getting into the 3,000 and, maybe even the $3,300 to $3,500 range. And if we wind up coming and taking the highs like we did on Bitcoin, that would basically be the equivalent of coming up to take this high, sitting at 35.82. And if we did wind up seeing that, shout out to anybody who saw that. Shout out to French Toaster, said, I'm the opposite. I can't stand the heat. Yeah. I used to be that way. When I lived in New York, I used to be like, how do people live in Florida? I hate the heat. I can't stand it. It gives me a headache. I get nauseous. I'm hot. I'm sticky. I'm sweaty. It's horrible. But then I just got so much of the cold that I was just sick of it. And I'm not going to lie, the ATL is almost not even warm enough for me. It gets cold down here compared to what I thought. But this is, this could definitely be in the cards for Ethereum, guys. And obviously we are clearly knocking on the door to that previous value area low, quite literally, right? We popped above it, right? And then we wound up getting a little bit of a pullback, and we hit our head, hit our head, hit our head, hit our head. We are tapping on that door to the value area low. And once we're able to flip it to support, that is likely, in my opinion, where we will see more upside for Ethereum, potentially getting us up to that $3,000 level. If you guys want to see me go deeper into this TA, check out the Ethereum video we dropped last week. It's called Last Chance, I think the thumbnail says, with the Ethereum logo. I break down my price predictions for Ethereum and why I'm multiple other reasons why I'm very bullish on Ethereum right now, and why we could potentially see these prices get hit. No guarantees, obviously. Just because it's happening on the charts does not mean we guarantee to come up here. But what I want you guys to do, and we do this in the video, like I said, go watch it if you haven't. But when you compare this price action, guys, to what Bitcoin looked like let's go back to Bitcoin, right? Let's take off the macro volume profile. Let's pull the May 2022, right? This is the same exact area of consolidation. Let's go back into bar replay mode, right? And look at this. This is what Bitcoin looks like as we were tapping on that door. This is what Ethereum looks like right now. Almost the exact same thing. Same area of consolidation. And what happened to Bitcoin when we wound up breaking that value area high? Well, I guess it already played out. I was in bar replay mode, but it just glitched. But what happened? We hopped above it, and we went straight to the value area high, which we wound up rejecting, even though we cracked it with this big wick. Look at the bodies of these weekly candles just sitting below that value area high to the dollar, right? Absolutely beautiful. So again, very, very interesting stuff here on Ethereum, and it definitely does look bullish in my opinion. But what is going to likely happen in the short term, and I will say this, guys, Ethereum, a little bit hard to read in the short term here. Hey, shout out to Hazard Shot. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much, bro. He says elderberry and herbal teas. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I gotta start. I was gonna start sleeping maybe at least 5 hours a night. 2 hours for the past 2 years has not really done me very good. So I'm gonna try to sleep for at least 5 hours a night. But yeah, I just keep getting beat up by these flus. It's horrible. It probably has a lot to do with very, very little sleep. But yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Herbal teas and elderberry. I have to get some. But yeah, shout out to Creighton C. Are you talking about this M? It says it doesn't look very good. I mean, hey, listen, here's the thing, guys. As you approach these value area lows, it's not always just up and to the right, because oftentimes, and we saw this happen with a lot of things, such as ICP, right? If I pull up ICP real quick, if I could find the actual chart we were looking at right here, right? ICP, right? Same thing, knocking on that previous value area, right? Knocking on that value area low, but it's not that you just come to the value area low and launch through it, right? Oftentimes, it's key resistance at first, right? Especially if you get something like this, like a daily bear div, right? Lower highs, higher highs, right? Into a key level of resistance, pull back. Retest that previous range before coming back up. So oftentimes, if we come back to Ethereum, you can see we basically had the same thing happen here, right? We had the higher highs into the key level. You have your lower high. Well, what am I doing over here? You have your lower highs on your momentum waves. You have your confirmed bearish divergence with your money flow coming out, right? So you would expect a pullback here. So this pullback was not necessarily unexpected and could potentially play out a little bit more, right? And if it does, we do have some extra levels down here that we were looking at on Friday's live stream, where we have the full Let me just double check that. Yeah, we have the full golden pocket retracement sitting down here at 23.75. So if we do continue down, this could be a potential area to look for some long positions, right? And then if you pull your previous range, you also have your value area high sitting here right within that golden pocket retracement. And then obviously you want to keep eyes on your 786 as well. So maybe if you this is the bearish case, right? If you wind up getting a bigger move down, I would be looking towards this blue box for a potential bounce back to the upside, similar to what we saw happen on ICP, right? Where ICP came up to the value area low, put the daily bear div in with the money flow coming out, just like we looked at on Ethereum, and then we got the pullback as expected, and where'd you get the bounce? Right on that previous value area high. Was it in confluence with the golden pocket like it is on Ethereum right now? Not quite, but it is there, right? You close your candles right on that golden pocket, so very, very similar setup here, right? So, again, right now, I'll be honest with you guys, a little hard to read. A little bit hard to read Ethereum right now. I don't see any clear setups as of right this second. But if we did get a pullback, this is kind of the next zone of support that I would be looking at. And then maybe this is kind of maybe even a little bit better of a level here. Value area high, golden pocket, and then if you lose that level, you could look down towards that POC 786 of the range, right? So these are some key levels to the downside on ETH that you could look at for bounces if you're looking for some potential long entries. Again, not to just blindly long these levels, guys. Like you have to get the confirmations, right? So if we came down here and we got bullish confirmations to look for a long, I would take it in anticipation of potentially coming back up to the value area low, which I would still treat as resistance on the way up. But once we flipped it, that's where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna hold on. I got an entry below the range. We're back within the volume profile. Let's see if we can eat this thing up to about $3,000. So there you go, guys. And again, just to give you the actual key levels. Value area high, golden pocket confluence 2368, and then your 786 POC is coming in between 2247 and 2230. And again, who knows? We could shoot up from here and get back in the range. But if we did get a bigger pullback, which I would be careful of with the bearish divergences here, if we did wind up getting that, then you come to the 12-hour green dot, money flow coming back up. Maybe you could shoot back up. Very, very difficult here. But if you get a bigger pushback, these are the levels I'm looking at. If we push back up, flip it to support from here, maybe we get a move up in the meantime. Take a look at the weekly. Fresh green dot, confirmed this past weekend. Could give us the power to push up here, guys. Also, people say where it wicks it goes. Potentially, we can go fill that wick. But those are the key levels. And either way, guys, whether we get the move down or come up from here, once we, regardless of what actually happens with price action, once we're above that value area low, like when in doubt, look at the key levels. Value area door is your doorway to higher prices. You flip that, chances are you're going to come a little bit higher, right? No guarantees, but more often than not, that's how we see the TA play out. All right, let's see. Shout out to Buy Bitcoin Daily. Thank you so much for that super chat. He says, 86. Shout out to Buy Bitcoin Daily. Shout out to you, man. Says 86, the Shizcoin TA. Go get some rest. Shout out to Buy Bitcoin Daily. If you guys don't know what 86 means, it just means forget about it or get rid of it. But guys, obviously, it's like I barely stopped coughing here. You guys know I am gonna cut it short here. We're at about an hour, so we'll make it up with some extra altcoin TA. On tomorrow's live stream, but I do want to cut it early. I want to get some rest tonight so I don't burn myself out for the rest of the week as I am still not 100%. And shout out to Crypto Billy. Come on, bro. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, question, is there a Richardson 112 or 111 asking for a friend? Love you, Frankie. Hashtag FYP, hashtag FCU, hashtag givers gain. This is that a Richardson 112 or 111 asking for a friend? Funny enough, bro. Hang on one second. I don't think this is a Richardson. Hang on. So shout out to Crypto Billy. This is a Richardson. This is not. This is a different brand. This is the Classics, it's called. I don't know. There you go. The Classics. So this is actually not a Richardson, which maybe is part of the reason why it's not available on the website, because we need those Richardsons, because these are the highest quality hats we could find. But shout out to Crypto Billy. It's just a different, there you go. I showed the tag. So that's the kind of hat. These are Richardson 112s, and The colored hats, the limited edition hats, are, I don't even know, a Richardson 212. These are Richardson 212. Level it up. But there you go, Billy. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I can already feel like I already am starting to feel like garbage. But guys, with that being said, how many likes did we get? We will move the spins to tomorrow. Oh, 291 likes. I guess not bad for an hour. Smash that like button on your way out. We will add those spins to tomorrow's live stream, and all the giveaways from last week and this week will be given away on this Friday's live stream, where we will be giving away $500 in Cardano. So keep an eye out for that video. You got to like and comment on to enter into the giveaway. Shout out to Eric Bonici popping in. Said, I'm a little late tonight, but ready to bing bong. We'll rewatch in 2X. Shout out to Eric Bonici. I'm going to go get some rest so I can breathe better on tomorrow's live stream. That's all I got. I love each and every single one of you guys. I do not just say that. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Shout out to the CandleMafia. That's all I got. See you guys tomorrow. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, stay out. Like
hey, yo, Jay.
Poetic, bring the drums in. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't hit, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need the brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house. And woo. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, set it up. Bet you I shut it down. Watch out, get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner. Got a finger run up in a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm a line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
We're still doing the Frankie fake out, guys. We're still doing a Frankie fake out. Shout out to Jurgen Smart. He says helicopter noise. And I say, I've been working on my helicopter noise, guys. I'm not going to lie. Check this out. It got really, really, really good. Check this out. This is my new helicopter noise. How is that? How is that? That's pretty dang close to an actual helicopter noise. Shout out to Jurgen Smart. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Full health. Hasta pasta. I love each and every single one of you. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on the road, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on the road, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on the road, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the